Hello and welcome to the Brand Ramacco podcast. I am lucky to have with me again Professor Pete Alexander. Thanks for coming back.
Brandon, thank you so much for having me back on the show. I'm excited to run through a really powerful exercise with your audience.
Yeah, so after our last talk, I wanted maybe more for my audience. I know I could send them to your website, but I wasn't sure if everyone would go. So I'm super happy to have you back so we can do one of the exercises.
Yep,
So
yep.
what exercise exactly are we going to do?
So we're going to do our personal values. And we're going to do our personal values as it relates to our career, because our career can be a source of big stress.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of people might think that, oh, yeah, I know what my values are for our career or whatever, or other areas of our life. But by professionally doing it and actually writing them down and having them in front of us whenever we need, that's a game changer. Because we can make assumptions as to what our values are, but when we really do an activity to identify them, it makes a big difference. And I'll explain why after people do the activity, why this is such a game-changing thing to do that won't take that long. It really, with the full recording, it probably 15, 20 minutes max is all it takes. Yeah. So shall we get started?
Sure.
So for the audience members, what I'd like you to do first and foremost is go ahead and turn off your phone, turn off your email, turn your Slack off, turn your Microsoft Teams off, because if you have notifications going on, you're not going to get anything out of this activity. When you get distracted, it's going to take you away from the power of this activity. So make sure you turn it off. Also, it's very important to make sure that you can write them down with a pen and paper. It's more powerful that way. So what I would suggest is that you pause right now if you don't have the paper and pen, just so you can go grab that. Mm-hmm. So once you have that paper and pen, the next thing you do, and you've got all of your notifications turned off, now go ahead and close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and I want you to think about 3 times as it relates to your career. I want you to think the first time about a time in your career when you were most happy. Most happy. Where were you? What were you doing? Who were you with? What was the occasion? Now, the second time, I want you to think about a time in your career when you were most proud. Most proud. Who were you with? What were you doing? What was the occasion? And the third time, I want you to think about a time in your career when you were most fulfilled. Most fulfilled. Fulfilled. Who were you with? What were you doing? What was the occasion? Now, now that you have those 3 times in your career in your mind, go ahead and open your eyes. And I want you to write down on a piece of paper as many 1 and 2 word answers to the following question. What's important to you about your career? What's important to you about your career? What else is important to you about your career? And what else is important to you about your career? Now that you have at least 5 on that piece of paper, what I'd like you to do is rank them from most important to least important. So the most important would be number 1, and your least important would be the last number on your values list. If you have difficulty ranking one value versus another, ask yourself the following question. If you could have value A, but you couldn't have value B, would that be okay to you? That answer will tell you which one is most important. Now that you have them all ranked, what I'd like you to do is take a second piece of paper out and go ahead and write down your top 5 values on a separate piece of paper as value 1, value 2, value 3, value 4, and value 5. Now that you have your list of top 5 values, what I'd like you to do is keep that piece of paper handy. Take a picture of it with your phone and keep that picture handy. Keep that piece of paper in your wallet, in your purse, because the next time you have an important decision to make as it relates to your career, make sure that that decision is in alignment with all 5 of your top 5 values. If it is not, and that decision is not in alignment with even one of your top 5 values, I guarantee you're going to increase unnecessary stress in your life. And the reason being is because you're not being true to yourself with that decision. Your personal values are what's important to you. It's how you spend your time. It's how you evaluate the use of your time. And when you go against those top 5 values, you're going to have that churning inside of you that doesn't feel good. So absolutely keep that list handy. It is a game changer and it is your North Star. It's who you are. And that's the activity.
That's awesome. So thank you so much for doing that activity for my audience. And they can find you on YouTube. They can find your website, petealexander.com.
Correct.
And your book, Lighten Your Day, Fast, Easy, and Effective Stress Relief.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
So, and those, if they prefer to read instead of YouTube videos, the book is a fantastic one for that. And especially for activities that are specific to one of those 7 components that stress us out in the Lighten model, either our livelihood, our conscious mind, which is our imagination, our genius or our unconscious mind, our health, the time we have available, our environment, and our network of relationships.
And so thank you again. And for our audience, there's a part 1 to this interview where we talk a little bit more in depth about the Lighten method, or maybe more of an overview about, and some other important things about life and stress management. And I wish you guys all the best. Thank you for being on again.
Oh, my pleasure, Brandon. Thank you so much for having me back. And thank you to the audience. I hope you have a great opportunity to do this activity and enjoy the outcome.